You should have said pizza, Kay.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have Instagram?
All these beautiful ladies. You have a great time, a great podcast.
Tanya, y'all gotta come scoot over here by us.
It's okay, we're like right there.
Yeah.
Oh, are you guys? Oh yeah, that's a good one.
You want to set yours up?
She said pizza too will work.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh, you can go ahead.
Put it right below that box, right?
Hannah said, "Hey, ladies," and Craig.
Hey,
Hey, Hannah.
Just put it right in that, yeah, put that on the bottom shelf. Oh, there you go. There you go. Look at that.
What do you want? Facebook Live?
Instagram.
Oh, you got Instagram too? Cool.
Your turn.
All right, I already told you. Y'all gotta ask me. I'll
Dana's
get carried
on now.
away. Oh, is Dana on? How cute!
We gonna have the whole school watching.
Oh, that's cute.
Wait, let me know, Mitch. I'm gonna go live too.
Oh,
Give me
we
2
ready.
seconds. We go live on Barber College Success.
Oh, we got music. That was the only one that I see.
I got these guys not nervous.
So, did you picture your phone? Or your phone's up? Okay.
I'll just use it to go like that. And ask questions. I will go live like that.
Oh, Dana requested to be in it. Y'all want to add her?
Yeah.
Dana? She requested to be in it. Dana! How cute.
Mitch, we ready? Let's rock. Yes. The music's on.
Oh, hey guys!
Barber College Success brought to you by Craig Charles of Crown Cutz Academy, JC, Crown Cutz Academy, Bristol, and Craig's Crown Cutz Downtown, JC. Spreading love is the only way we know how to do it, but spreading love is the Tri-Cities way. But the best way to spread love is the Crown Cutz way. Today we have a special episode with our beautiful estheticians, because most people don't know that I have a school that also has esthetician, barbering, cosmetology, and manicuring. So it's important that we get all these girls on and talk about their journey, how they feel about this industry and where they want to go. But first, before I introduce these lovely ladies, I'm gonna talk about what this podcast is for. The podcast basically is for the casual observer, the casual listener out there who wants to learn about our industry, how to get better about what they do in this cosmetology field. The cosmetology field is such a great field, and I want to get everybody interested, everybody going about this field. So the first thing we do, we always have barbers and talk about barbering, but today we're going to switch it up and bring the estheticians on here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, talk about Mercedes. Relax, I see you over there in the corner. But first, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Start with Miss J.
All right, well, I'm Jules. I started the school about 6.5 months ago, so I'm almost done. I'm ready to be working, and that's me. I'm excited about it. I do lashes and brows, and I love Brazilians, and I really want to go further into those 3 things specifically, but especially like the intimate care and the lashing and building my own brand and selling lashes and things like that eventually as well. Go ahead, homegirl.
My name is Mercedes. I started the class about 5 months ago, so I only have like 3 months left. It wasn't what I was wanting to do at first, so I don't even know really why I started it, but now that I've gotten into it, I really love doing everything, so I just hope it takes me in the right direction.
For someone who don't like to talk, who didn't want to talk, they had a lot to say. All right, next.
I'm Sierra, and I started this class last minute. I'm with Jules, so I only have, 2 months?
Yeah,
2
a
months
month,
left?
about a month and a half, yeah.
And, well, I decided to do it because I started lashing before, and then I fell in love with all of it, so I plan on doing mainly waxing and lashing, but I want to do it all eventually.
My turn. My name's April, and I'm a mother of 4, and my goal with starting this class was to start a business with my daughter, and she's kind of been my drive. So I really love makeup, and I really love making people happy about the way they feel and the way they look. So I think this is the field for me.
All right. I'm Sophie. I started out actually wanting to be a lawyer, and I've always been passionate about makeup, and I wasn't really happy in college, and I just don't think that was for me. And I'm actually wanting to go into Botox. But I'm passionate about everything beauty, mainly makeup and making people feel good about themselves, just in general, because that's something I enjoy and it's something that makes me feel good. So.
I am Corey.
Hold on. Give your introduction.
Hey! I'm Corey. I am an instructor, and I love it. I love teaching, and I love the skin field. So yeah, that's. Also, I have to say, my daughter told me I have to say she's the one that inspires me. Her name is her name is Harper. She threatened me, and she said I had to say it. So there you go.
My name is Tanya. I've always been interested in skincare, and I used to have a government job, and I was always scared to take a leap of anything, and because I did have a good job, good benefits, but I prayed about it, and I finally made the decision to come to school for aesthetics, and absolutely love it. Never thought I would be teaching. I am an instructor as well with Corey, and I absolutely love it. I have met a lot of great students, and me and Corey is a great team. Mm-hmm. So, but we love it, and love everybody we work with, love our students. So,
the importance of this episode, again, is just to kind of give a different perspective of people in this industry, because most people around the country and around the world don't realize the cosmetology field, every student, every instructor, we pretty much go through the same thing, the same stuff. So just to give a different perspective of people understand that, hey, it's okay to be where you at, and understand it's a process. Because all these industries, it takes time. It takes time to get your craft done. You're not gonna boss your craft out instantly. And that's important for people to understand out there. So just kind of giving you a perspective, and I'm gonna let these ladies talk about their journeys a little bit more. Mercedes, I know I told you I was gonna pick on you. You said you was nervous, but it's okay. So talk about you coming to sign your boyfriend up, that whole journey, and then you deciding that you wanted to take part in this industry.
Okay, so I have a not really friend, but somebody I had went to high school with, and she had done the barber program. Mm-hmm. And he had started talking about it after graduating. So I got up with her, and I got the information from her, and then I went online and I started looking around, and I had called for him, and they said that he needed to come in and get his paperwork and stuff.
That's a good spouse, first off. I mean, she's doing the work for her boyfriend, just trying to get him.
Yeah. So we came in, and, well, I didn't go in. I made him go in by himself. But he came in.
Always scary. Always scared about that.
Yeah, well, he was scared, too, because when he came out, he said he wasn't doing it. He said there was too many people for him. So, but after he got his paperwork, we had went home and looked over everything. And I was originally going for LPN. So I had already gotten all my paperwork done for that, and then I was trying to help him with the barber program. And he ended up prolonging it and not going. And I was playing around with him and said that I was going to go to school with him. And so I got on there, and I was just scoping the website and stuff, and I found that they had the aesthetics. And I started looking into it. And like I said, I've never really been into it, but I just realized that school, like a big amount of school, just wasn't for me, and all the stuff I had to go for the LPN. So I just took a leap of faith.
And the important thing is that most people think a lot of times it make you feel bad if you don't go to a 4-year school, especially a lot of people in our community. They try to make you feel less than when you don't go to a 4-year school. So it's important for people to understand that it's your journey. Once you understand your why, you will love what you do, because you have to find the passion in your work. And if there's no passion in your work, you will hate going to work. Like I tell my students every day, I've never had a day in the past like 20 years where I didn't want to go to work. So that's the key for people to understand. You need to find your passion, find your why, understand your why. Sierra, what is your why? When you sit back and think about your journey being an esthetician, what is your why?
So I was originally going for nursing, and I just didn't care for it. I would not go to class. I would just skip all the time because I was interested, but not that interested.
Right.
So I've been a CNA for 5 years now, and I loved it at first, and that's what wanted me to be a nurse. And I'm just so burnt out from it, and I don't want to be burnt out for the rest of my life doing something that I'm going to get tired of.
Right.
And I don't see me getting tired of skincare and waxing because I love before and after results. I love before and after results of lashes. I don't see me getting tired of that.
So you think you found your passion?
Yes.
Good. So when you hear someone talk about finding a passion, their passion, what comes to your mind, Tanya?
Do what now?
When you hear someone saying that they found what they love to do, they found their passion, they understand their why. As an instructor, what comes to your mind?
As far as they found their passion.
Yeah, what's doing something that makes them happy.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? What comes to your mind?
Well, I
Because
mean,
you was in that position
yeah.
first as a student, now as an instructor.
Mhm. I mean, it makes me feel good, and us as instructors, you know, just listening to them, especially in Mercedes, because I remember when she first started, I had asked her something about skincare or something about a product. She was like, I've never heard of it. But she's came such a long ways, and like she enjoys it. We have fun. But anyway,
She talks more.
yes,
Yeah.
laughs. And,
Yeah.
But us as instructors,
It's just cool seeing their journey.
yes, and how excited they get, and when they graduate, it's a great day, but it's sad also because they're leaving us. And some of them we won't see again because they do travel a long ways. But I just think it feels good because it's something that me and Corey helped them achieve.
Right.
So,
How does that make you feel, Corey?
It makes my heart feel really big, and no, I really do. I enjoy all the students, and it is a sad day when they graduate because I know we probably won't see them again and things like that. But it's exciting to hear that. It's exciting to hear that y'all have passion for the industry and that y'all are so young too. Most of y'all are really young, and you found it at a young age. So I think that's awesome. Yeah.
So, April, what is your first week like in school, aesthetic school? Break down your first day to day 5. What was it like?
Nervous wreck at first.
Uh-huh. Grab the mic.
I didn't come out of my shell probably till the 3rd week.
Uh-huh.
I kind of just stayed in the corner and watched and listened.
But now, how long have you been in school now?
3 months.
3 months. So talk about your development from the first week to the first month to the 2nd month to the 3rd month where you are right now.
I didn't
What
take
do
it
you
as
feel?
serious in the first couple of weeks because it was something new to me that I wanted to open my own business, but I wasn't sure if I was in the right field or not, so I wanted to get a little play in it to know if that's where I wanted to be or if I wanted to branch off somewhere else. I originally went to college to be a social worker. I completed my human services. But I decided to change fields because I want to be there with my daughter and be able to work together with her.
Oh, that's big. That's major. Family is important. When we have support from our family, that goes a long way. So, Sophie, what kind of support did you get from your family coming into this field?
Well, my mom had started out why I want to go into Botox and everything. You may know Sue Kressel, that she works in Bristol. I've known her since I was about 8 years old, and she has always told me, hey, if you want to go into this field, then you just tell me, and I'll talk you into it. I'll, tell you what schools to go to and everything. And she had really inspired me to go through with it. And my parents had already paid for, a semester of college, and they knew that I wasn't enjoying it, and they told me to go find something that I thought that I would actually enjoy, and that they would put me through it, and they would be supportive. And the thing that meant the most to me, my first day, my parents actually texted me and was like, I'm so proud of you for coming and like everything. So try not to get emotional, but
That's big. So did anyone have any like relative, any friends or people in their corner discouraging them from this journey of aesthetic school? Anyone of you guys? So April, talk about that.
My niece told me that I was too old, because I'm probably oldest in the class. I'm 42. To be going back to school to do something like this, that I should have started way younger, and that was kind of the fuel to my fire to show them, don't tell me I can't, because I will.
Right. And the important things of this podcast, because there are a lot of people who always tell people that they can and kind of put like a hindrance or some type of stopgap in their way. And it's not just in the aesthetics field, it's in barbering, it's cosmetology, and manicuring. Because a lot of times people insecurities come out when they want to do something and they see you doing it. So they'll try to say something to you, and it's important to understand it's your journey. It's your journey, it's not their journey. So always remember to encourage people to push them to what they want to do. So here you are now, 3 months in. You remember your first week of school, Jules? What it was like?
Yeah, the first week of actual school was really, really fun. I had a lot going on in my personal life, so it was like extremely stressful, but like I got to do a Brazilian wax my first week. I felt like my first week there was so much that like was getting thrown at once that I was so excited about, and I wanted to like literally get all my performances done in that week. But like Sierra and I went in together, and I didn't expect to get to do so much right off the bat. That was really fun for me. I really enjoyed my first week, aside from, you know what I'm saying? When I would go home, I'd be like, man, I don't want to be here. Right. I would have rather been, learning more, because I had a great first week, I think.
Okay, so from an instructor perspective, what can a student expect in their first week, second week, third week, fourth week, first month of school, Corey?
The first week, you'll really learn about sanitation and just getting to know the class and getting to know your routine. And then the first 6 weeks, it's just theory, and then their performances, which is, we usually go into waxing first, and then we will just kind of go from there. I think lash lifts and things like that are towards the end. But yeah, do you have anything?
Usually what we like to do is, because I know everybody's nervous, we'll do, like she said, the theory. We'll let them watch the senior students, and then instead of just throwing them on a real client that's paying, because this was from my experience when I was in school, I felt more comfortable doing it on somebody like Corey.
So we'll let you know.
Yes, so we will let our new students work on us, everybody in the class. So they're still nervous, but not as nervous as a client. And then that way they'll be a little bit more comfortable, and then we'll gradually get them into clients.
Do you guys ever have students coming in there second guessing themselves? And how do you handle that?
We just encourage them and let them know. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get. Like I told April this week, me and Corey, have told her, I said, I can see a huge difference in your waxing, just how you apply it, when you pull it off.
Comfortable.
Yeah. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get.
That's what we try to tell all of them. We try to tell them, don't just sit there and watch. Really, kind of jump in. Really get over them and watch them. Because
be engaging.
Yes, because if you sit back, the more you sit back, the more you're going to be uncomfortable when you do start doing it, and all that. So we try to encourage them as much as possible to get in there.
What is scary about school, Mercedes? What is scary about school?
I don't know, nothing really for me other than getting a client, I guess, that doesn't like the work. That's kind of scary, but other than that, I don't really know.
What about you, Sia? What gives you anxiety?
Well, if I didn't already have my friend there before, it would be meeting new people. I don't like meeting new people.
And the importance of again, of this podcast is to let people see that we all in this cosmetology field, we all have the same issues. And no matter what program you choose, whether it be aesthetics, cosmetology, barbering, or nails, every student, they want to grab the skill right away. And sometimes when they don't grab the skill right away, they feel inadequate. They feel like they're not good enough. And go ahead.
So I kind of pulled back in the beginning, but when I realized that they really wanted to see me succeed, so I needed to apply myself more, harder, not give up as easy as I was. Testing is one of my biggest weaknesses because my anxiety goes through the roof.
And that's a good point. And most people have anxiety when they test. And you have to realize that trust your instructors and trust your peers, because there's someone there who can do it better than you. Don't be afraid to ask someone a question to help you be in a better position than you are right now, because it's important. We all in this together. We all are learning, we all are growing, but some people learn and grow at a different pace, and it's okay. So how you guys are in school, what do you look forward to most about this industry? Sophie?
I would say the people that are in the industry. I think it's a very large community about a bunch of people that are passionate about what they're in, and you don't get that in a lot of workforces.
Right.
I feel like, again, like you said, that most people dread going to work.
Mm-hmm.
But most people that are in this industry, at least that I've met, especially everyone that I go to school with, they all love it.
I think it's also the creativity of you guys just working with your hands and seeing something that you start from the beginning, from scratch, and then it evolves into something that's just like, boom, voila. Something just so from nothing to something. What does that make you feel like, Sierra, that feeling, when you start something from nothing and it becomes something?
I think it's a good feeling. Like, I love seeing the before and after results. Like, I don't know.
I know, like, one day you was working on Mercedes.
Like,
you was working on Mercedes, and
yeah,
you was just all like, and I took some pictures. I sent them to you. You was all like just focused in, and you was just like, I am going to make this work. I'm going to give it my best. And Mercedes, she was probably sitting there for like, what, how long?
like 2 hours,
And-
probably longer. And she loved the after results. I love seeing people love the after results of what I do, and it's really fun. I love doing that.
So what would you tell, and we'll go down the line. All you guys will answer the question. What would you tell your first day of school self, knowing what you know now? So what would you tell yourself the first, what kind of encouragement would you say to yourself, Jules, the first day of school, this is what to do, what to look out for, knowing what you know now? What kind of advice would you give yourself?
I think that, like, mine would be more like, okay, you need to be mindful of how to balance work and school and your life, because I was used to working full time, and being in school was now my full time, so then my hours at work went down. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think I had fully expected what a burden it would be on my physical body from 7 to 11 every single day, 6 to 11 every single day. So I think that I went in with a lot of ambition, and I probably, if I could tell myself now, I would tell myself, slow down. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should have even had a different job while doing this, because I think that had interfered a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And it's important that you say that, because in the field, everyone is looking for a way how to balance themselves. And one of the biggest questions is how you handle school and balance work life, and how you balance also home life. So what would you advice would you give yourself, Mercedes, your first week, your first month, or just what kind of advice would you give yourself?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know.
What about you, Sierra?
I have no idea.
That's okay.
I wish I would have done it before I had kids, though.
But talk about that.
Like when they get sick and.
Yeah, I did have to miss, what was it, like right before Thanksgiving, because my son had RSV. But I like that I could come in on Saturdays and make up the hours and stuff like that.
Right.
And my mom watches them. So it's easy that I have someone to watch them. If I didn't, I wouldn't be in school.
That's good. What about you, Tanya?
One thing as far as balancing, because we're all adults, and every class that me and Corey get, we end up switching something. You kind of learn from each class we have on different things. We can try things and see what works best. And what we've done with this class is on Wednesdays is our short day. We're only there 4 hours. So we're trying this out, and so far it's worked out good, and we think they like it. But we're all adults, everybody works, some people have kids. And even when I was in school, I was like, man, I don't want to study. When I get home, I have other things, and I'll try to study, and then I was just like, So we've dedicated our 4-hour day to a study day, and we'll go over their study guides with them. And I think so far they've really enjoyed that because it's helped, when they get off work, they don't have to worry about, oh man, I have a test on Friday, I haven't studied. So that helps them there. If anybody needs one-on-one, we can do that. So we've kind of dedicated, of course, if they get walk-ins, they have to do walk-ins on Wednesdays, but for the most part, I think that's really helped them as far as the balance part on that factor, as far as studying and getting prepared.
I think that's a great point, and you just gave me a gem, something that you just taught me something. Again, because most instructors, most students are looking for ways how to effectively navigate school. And one great point is set aside one day just for studying. And if a practical comes in, a service comes in, go ahead and do it. But then that one day, you give everybody the opportunity to know, you know what, we're going to spend that time just to study. If you need one-on-one, we will get it, and you'll be able to absorb it then. So what kind of advice would you give yourself,
I think
April?
mine would be not to be so scared of meeting new people and networking. Because due to past things in my life, I always felt like I was being judged.
Mm-hmm.
So I always just stayed in the corner and stayed quiet.
That's,
And since I've been in this class, they brought me out of my shell a lot.
that's good. What about you, Soph?
I actually felt similar to how April felt, except for my first day is kind of a funny story. You were there on my first day, and that's when you took us out in front of the building and made us film that video.
First day.
And
I tried to throw her up in the air.
Jules was like, "Are you not a cheerleader?"
I was like, "You're not?"
One of the days that I had just came in to sign some paperwork, the cosmetology girls had told me, "Yeah, all the esthetician girls are so mean." And I went in so nervous.
They better have left my name out of that. I'll beat them up.
And I went in that day, and I was like, "Oh no, what if?" And now I know them all, and I think they're all great. But
We all have a bad case of RBF.
yeah,
Mercedes is me.
no, Mercedes not me.
Mercedes, you're not me this fight.
I'm the nicest one.
Wow. I mean, but it's important to kind of go and see for yourself and open up, because I know most students that come in, even in the barbering program, they come in real quiet because everyone wants to boss their skill out. And if you feel you're not bossing your skill out, you're not getting to where you need to be, in your mind, you feel that you're not learning, you're not growing, and you feel that you don't belong. And you have to realize it just takes time. You're not going to instantly get your kit and start doing wonderful work in aesthetics, wonderful work in barbering, wonderful work in cosmetology, wonderful work in nails. It just takes some time. So it's important to give, that's why I asked you guys the question, what kind of advice would you tell your first day, first month self? So what kind of advice would you give students coming into this industry, Corey?
Just enjoy your journey. I was really excited when I started school. I'm even more excited today when I go to school. So just enjoy the process and the journey. That's what I would say.
What about you, Tanya?
Yeah, just enjoy it. And I was thinking back on what April had said about being too old to go to school. Mm-hmm. I was in her same boat. I was the oldest in my class. And my thing is, and like I said, I was scared to start the journey because, I did have a good job. I do not regret it, not one bit, leaving my government job and benefits, because I love what I do.
Yeah.
And
No better
you're gonna make me
peace.
cry over
No
there.
better cry.
And
There's
I,
no better peace loving what you love.
yeah, and I,
It's okay to cry.
yeah,
It's okay to cry. I see you over there. Let's do it. I got you.
my thing is, like me and April, we've got 20 more years to work. It's either you can be miserable 20 more years with what you do and hate your job every day. I've been there, done that. I've cried like a baby going to work, stressed after work. One of my friends was breaking out in hives because she was so stressed. Why put yourself through that if you know, like I did, I prayed about it, was scared to death, and I don't regret it one bit. But don't do your 20 years left and being miserable and hate what you do, because I'm so happy now.
But think about that. That is so important what you said. You can spend the rest of your life, the rest of your time, the rest of your journey just being miserable, or the rest of your time finding something that you love, that you just totally enjoy, and you're not stressed about that. What does that, when you hear that, Mercedes, what does that make you feel like? This industry, what does that make you feel? You had Tanya just express herself like that.
Happy. It makes me excited to know that our instructors care where we go, and yeah.
What do you
I
think?
forgot the
What do you
question.
think, Sierra?
I think it's exciting. Like, they want us to do good in life. They're pushing us to be successful. So if we didn't have them.
So let me ask you guys a question. Once you have your esthetician license, there's so much you can do. What excites you about this journey, about being an esthetician? What excites you? What just makes you just totally happy when you wake up in the morning, you come to school, and you think about getting your license? What excites you about the journey after that?
To make somebody else happy, because I feel like even though it's not all about outside beauty, I feel like that helps someone's confidence. Right. And I think that's one of the best things you can do, is to help somebody's confidence, because if they're more confident, they're going to be happier, and who doesn't want to be happy?
What do you think, April?
I think mine would be just to see people smile. I think with all of the things that I've went on in my life, that was the hardest thing for me to do, was learn to smile.
Right.
And being in this class, it's gave me that back, that joy, that drive.
That's good. I mean, what do you think, Tommy? What excites you about, knowing what you know now about this industry, what excites you?
Well, I love just seeing their journey and seeing how excited they're getting, the passion that they have. And like I said earlier, that me and Corey are a part of helping them do that.
Right.
And
as far as skincare and things like that, I think the before and after pictures, or after you're done something, you're like, I did that. You know?
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
that's exciting.
And on the live, if we have any questions for the students or myself, Corey and Tanya, just let us know. We will answer them in the order that they come in. Again, this platform is Barber College Success. It's a platform for students who are in this industry thinking about what to do, how to do it, their journey, how to make their journey a little bit easier for themselves, how to get along with people, how to do consultation, the people in this industry, where you're going, how to get there, how to just understand your field, just how to find your passion. Last week we had the 10 commandments of how to find an unbroken mindset, and I think one of the things we talked about was be intentional about what you do, and be intentional about this industry, be intentional about your craft, make every day count, don't be afraid to lose, understand your progress and celebrate your progress, because most times a lot of people don't celebrate their progress, because most people, they want to happen right now, and you don't realize just being around people who love you, who encourage you, that's progress, because you can be in an environment where there's people who just totally just want nothing good for you. So again, I appreciate you guys for just coming and sharing. I know a lot of you guys was nervous, but it's okay. So I want you to tell me, anyone you guys can take this, for 30 seconds, talk about what it's like, what does it mean to be an esthetician? 30 seconds. Anybody can take this.
I don't know why y'all always looking at me. Well, honestly, for me, why I chose to go into this is, like I mentioned before, I'm used to working a lot. I'm used to working hard, and I was tired of working for somebody else. And, waiting tables was great because it was my choice on how much money I made, essentially. If I chose to go into work and I chose to be a great waitress, then you can get tipped as much as possible, but I was still tired of working on somebody else's schedule or working nights or missing out on vacations or family time. So for me, an esthetician meant now I have an opportunity to create my own business where I get to choose who I work with, when I get to work with them, and how much money I get to make. You know, I understood that it's a process, but just the opportunity of doing something that's all yours and you get to decide how to benefit from it, that really changed for me. I was looking for something like that. I needed it in order for me to be happy in my career choices. And I wanted to make money, and I know with beauty you can make good money. You know what I mean? It's always growing. It's always something there.
Who else want to tackle that? Just 30 seconds about what it's like to be an esthetician. When you hear being in this field, what do you think about? What comes to your mind?
I kind of feel the same way that Jules does, how, well, we were both servers, I still am. And I enjoy serving. I enjoy, again, like she said, being able to make, it's almost as if you work for yourself because, you know, you're not really ever getting paid that $2.15, you know.
You'll never see it.
You're basically making your own money. They're doing your taxes for you. So, and I really enjoy that. I really enjoy almost, you decide how much money you can make. So you decide how many clients you want to take or how much you want to work, when you want to work. I enjoy that side of it.
So from an instructor perspective, talk about being an instructor, because you guys are first year instructors. Talk about being an instructor and what does it mean to you to be an instructor?
I never really thought I was going to be an instructor, but then when I became one, I really enjoyed it. I love just seeing the students where they start out from to where they, you know, end at when they graduate, which is just their beginning. But I enjoy seeing the process, and I just really enjoy it.
Like we've talked about earlier, we love watching the students grow and seeing how excited they get, and like their before and afters, and just the excitement when they do stuff.
Yeah, their excitement excites us.
Yeah.
So when you have a good group of girls that really enjoy what they're doing in the class, that really makes a big difference for our job.
Yeah.
What are questions that you guys have about the industry?
I feel like I have so many.
Right,
I feel like
you will ask, and someone out there will want to figure out too.
I feel like, you know, you hate to put a timeline on stuff, but I always like want to know, how long did it take you to get there? You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what I ask every person that I meet who's successful. I'm like, how long did this take you? And sometimes it's encouraging when you hear, oh, well, it took me 10 years. And I'm like, ooh, then I must be doing good, because I feel like I've been doing it a year. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's always what I want to know. How long did it take you, and what did you do to get there? Because everyone's different. Everyone works differently. I like it when it took them forever, because I feel like that shows patience. And then I like it hearing when people said it took 2 years, because that shows drive. Like, man, to make 6 figures on your own, or more than 6 figures in 2 years, that takes drive. But then when it takes you 10 years, it really shows your work ethic. It really shows your patience. It really shows that you were committed to something. I love that.
You all love going on field trips, because they do get to ask questions like that.
What they do.
It really does excite you all. I know it excited us when we were students. You know, sometimes I'd get like kind of down and be like, oh man, I don't even know what I'm going to do after I'm out. But then when I would go on a field trip and I would hear those encouragement words,
all your
that,
options.
I'd be like, oh yeah, I got this. We can do this. You know.
So you guys went on this field trip last week. Talking about field trips, what about the field trip? Talk about that field trip, Sierra.
With Abby. The one with Abby?
Yes. What do you like about that field trip? What did you get from that?
All the stuff that we can do and get certified in, that was really nice knowing, like where we could do the intimate waxing, like the nano needle.
Like the Dr. Pen, it's like,
That was cool knowing about like the bleaching, the intimacy bleaching. I didn't like learning that we can go more than just what we learn in basic aesthetics. That was really cool knowing.
I really enjoyed that too. I loved learning that.
What kind of other questions do you guys have? So you think about this industry right now. What kind of questions do you have about this industry? Mercedes?
I mean, I just feel the same way that Jules feels about it. I just ask people how long it takes them to get where they're at and things like that.
I think we also like knowing their specialties, because every kind of where we've went, they've done something different. Like there was a lot of when we went to last, there was a lot of like healing, like therapy, music therapy, aromatherapy. That's, I think, a side of esthetician work that we hadn't seen yet together. I thought that was really cool.
So I think most people talk about the money. You want to know, is this something that's beneficial for you? Is this something that's going to be worthwhile? Every time I go to like a barber show or a barber convention, most times they will have like the aesthetics room, they'll have the cosmetology room, and they have the manicure area. Almost every time the aesthetics area is bigger than all the other areas. Why do you think that?
I think estheticians can do a huge spectrum of things. I mean, you wouldn't believe. I came into it for certain specifics, but everybody we go and see does something different. Each one of us has something different that we like.
Have you guys been to a show yet, like a beauty show?
Where they sell in their areas?
Yes. I mean, it's a game changer, because I went there, I'm like, why is this whole big area just set out for estheticians? I almost kind of felt like slighted a little bit. Because I'm going there as a barber. They got this little section, and you got the barbers doing their display, and this whole big room is like the whole other side of the building is just aesthetics.
We keep you youthful. Yeah.
I mean,
it's shown.
Machines and all that stuff. It can be expensive.
Well, I have to say this: the esthetician field is in good hands. It's not going nowhere. It seems like it's just taking. There's a group of people who just want to go into esthetician, and that's fine. That's good. I mean, I like that. So I said to say this: you guys chose a great profession. Knowing that does that make you feel good, knowing that you chose a great profession? Because there's so much possibilities.
Definitely. I do, at least. Because if I hate, in 3 years, if I hate lashing, then I could do something else with my license. You know what I'm saying? I think I personally always had a passion for beauty that I didn't understand I could make a career out of. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until I was older that I was like, well, gosh, I'm doing this all the time for myself to make money. So why am I not doing this all the time for myself to make money? You know what I'm saying?
Because you guys beautify yourselves every day, and you guys put time and go into. Why do you think that there's not more men in this industry?
I don't know why.
I don't know.
They need to
because
be.
even at school, a lot of our the male students are
Yes.
more apt to come into the aesthetic room to get facials and things like that. So I'm not sure why it's not.
I just had a flashback of when it was a different class, but there was a bigger guy that came in. He was just, a manly man, and he was like, man, he talked me in. Somebody, I can't remember who it was, talked him into coming in there to get a facial, and you could tell he was kind of uncomfortable about it, but he fell asleep. He was making all kinds of crazy noises. But yes, and then
I remember him.
when she was done with it, he got up and sat there for a minute. He was like, man, that felt good. That was amazing. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So it's yes. So, I mean, it's not just for women. I mean, men need to be pampered too.
I think they're just the fear of the unknown.
But not just getting the service, but why not much men into the field of wanting to be an esthetician? What do you think, Sierra?
I feel like they think it's just a girl thing. I think they put beauty towards women, that they don't think they could do it or need it when they really do.
But do you think, Mercedes, do you think a man could be successful in this industry?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. There's just a lot of opportunities in it, and I don't think that it should just be for women or labeled just for women. I actually
But I think honestly though, because to me, I think men tend to have more, what's the word? Almost like steadier hands,
Yeah.
which helps in beauty, or they have like creative things in there. Okay, let's say that when men look at women, they know what they like, right?
Right.
So they could make women like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like men do have an advantage for beauty. They just don't understand it.
So you saying a man hands would be steadier doing like eyelashes?
I think they would. My first few nail techs were men, and they were better than a lot of the women that I went to. They were just
Is
more
it because of the
focused.
conversation though?
No, he wouldn't even speak to me. He went to work, and I think it was he just saw he could see a rectangle as a rectangle. You know what I'm saying? And like it's just men for some
You
reason
say he
to
could
me
see
are
a
more
rectangle as a
linear.
rectangle.
Yeah, it's important when you got your nails on.
What do you think, so?
I think that honestly, most of the makeup artists that I've seen, the best ones are men.
She's right.
Absolutely. Like Kevin Aquan, James Charles.
Yeah.
Like so many people that are so good at makeup are men.
Yeah.
If I was gonna put lash on the wound, I'd make it probably like 3 inches. You know, it'd be on your top of your forehead. So
Don't do that. Don't do
I
that.
don't know how to be steady with that. You know what I mean?
They're gonna be like,
Yeah. You got some bat wings on your eyes.
Well, tell about your facial when you had it done.
that's what I thought y'all were talking about when you said he fell asleep making crazy noises. I was like, Craig.
I enjoyed it. I don't remember falling asleep. You guys said I fell asleep. I don't remember falling asleep.
It was a slight.
No, I don't remember that, Jules. That you made that is something that's made up. That's something that's made up. So,
They recorded it.
so in school, right? Talk about the services that you guys offer to the public that people don't realize that you offer to the public. What kind of services do you guys offer to the public, April?
I think the biggest thing is waxing and tinning. A lot of the women like to come in and get their eyebrows and eyelashes tinted. And then we do a lot of eyebrow waxing, male and female.
And is that the particular service you guys do? You guys could do more than that at the school.
Oh yeah, we do a lot more. That's just what we usually typically get that come in.
So what kind of services can you do at the school
We do lash lifts, tints, waxing, facials. There's anti-aging facials, acne facials. And waxing, it's not just eyebrows, it's everywhere. You can, Brazilians, underneath your arms. Some people come in and get their whole face done. And what else is there?
We've got like microderms, things like that.
Microdermabrasion,
Planing.
dermaplaning, and I think that's...
You got high frequency.
We practice with...
Can a man come get his back waxed?
Yeah,
We had a good one.
Or a back
Yeah.
facial.
a back facial, yeah.
It's different from the waxing, but yeah, you can do back facials.
So there's so many different services. Do you guys have a reservation for working on men or just working on women? Because I know sometimes it can be a safety issue.
I know at the school they don't allow us to do male Brazilians for safety reasons. If it were my own, I would do them. I would probably charge more, and I'd probably have like a not an intern, but someone assisting me in the room as well, at least for the first couple times, just to get used to it. I think that would probably be the only thing that would be different for a man than a woman. The rest would be the same.
Working on men individually by yourself, is that a concern to you guys?
Alone? With a stranger? Yeah, I think so.
Because when you're in your own field, in your practice, how does it work? How does it serve? Do you have to have like someone else in there with you guys?
You don't have to. I feel like a lot of us chose this though to work more with women. To be honest, I think a lot of us felt that's a reason I did, as I felt safer having women come and see me. You know what I'm saying? And not all, it's not every man's going to give you a weird feeling, but I've definitely heard stories of people waxing somebody even for months. All of a sudden they're in a room alone with them, and then it gets weird. So I would say for me personally, I would prefer to have someone assisting me in the room.
And at the school, I don't know how many men come to get service, but do you guys encourage men coming to get the service at the school setting? Because it's practice too as well. Okay,
They can
great.
get anything else. At the school, at least, we're allowed to do any of them. I like it when men come and get stuff done.
And that's a good point. So if you're in a cosmetology school, you can service the other students in the school, which will get you plenty of practice. And I don't think people take advantage of that. Because most cosmetology schools where you have cosmetology, barbering, aesthetics, and nails, you have a clientele of all the other students to give service to. And if you're in a cosmetology school or barber school, whatever, we should encourage the barbers to come and get a facial. We should encourage the nail techs, manicures to come and get a facial or whatever, the service that we offer. Because how can those services intersect with each other? How can a barber work with an esthetician and pick something up and add to his service? Is there a way that barbers can use something that you guys use with his service?
Yeah, they actually do come to us and ask us all the time. They're like, I want to start waxing. Can you show me how to wax? Even though you have to wax when you're a barber anyways, master barber. But they always want us to show them. Also with facials, they want to, they always want to do facials when they do the hot steam towels right before they shave the beard or trim it up. They want to know more about that. So yeah, they could really.
So what you recommend for barbers to learn in the esthetician field, the basic facials and what else? Waxing, because that service you can add to your repertoire. You give a haircut, you can do I don't know if I did an armpit waxing while they getting a haircut, but
They could do a hot steam towel. Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Things like that. Yeah.
So that's what I think the barbers would. That's what things I think the barbers would want to hear. Things like that, which you can add services, you can add packages, you can add to, because getting a haircut and getting your what wax?
Your nose. You can get your beard waxed. Your
And
neck.
so when you get it waxed, typically how long does it last? Does it last longer opposed to getting it shaved, or typically how long does it last?
Much longer.
4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say. They say it lasts
Ooh.
4 weeks.
And your hair grows back in nicely, very a lot thinner. So if you wanted to wax again, you know what I'm saying, your hair could eventually stop growing, really.
But think about this. I didn't think about this. The service that you did for me last week, you tinted my beard, and I didn't think that as a esthetician you guys can do that.
Right.
So that's a service. You guys didn't mention that.
Right.
And you guys did it for me last week.
Right.
Well, I was going to bring it up, but I was afraid.
Why?
If you would have let me wax and tint the beard, ooh wee, you know what I'm saying? We could have, but you was scared.
What's so funny? So
After you got it tinted?
no.
It was very subtle. It's very subtle.
I
yes.
mean, but the thing is, it lasts longer.
It does.
I mean, I don't know what kind of formula what you guys used, but it lasts longer than the typical time when I get it done at the shop.
Right.
What did you guys use that's so different?
It could just be a different brand.
That's what it is.
It could just be me.
I mean, because I didn't think that you guys, that's a service that you guys offer, but I'm thinking about it, that's a great service. You could, being a barber and an esthetician all at once, your salary is going through the roof.
Right.
Have any of you guys ever thought about being a barber?
I thought about going back when I moved to go for barber school.
For real?
Yeah, because it's the city I'm moving to, they don't have like an ethnic
Yeah.
barber shop in there, in the whole city. So I figured that would be kind of cool. I had already had my esthetician license, so I could meet, women who like lashing and brows, and men and women who like waxing. And if I get that going, by the time I'm out of barber school, then I could, have a couple barbers in there. I did think about going back.
So so how would you sell that to a barber? How could you sell that to him? Corey,
Who doesn't want to
Tanya?
make more money?
How could you how can you sell that to him?
Just letting them know that they can make more money. And that's in this type of field where you are your own boss, that's what you want. You want to know, how can I make the most money? What can I do? And I think that's probably the most important part.
So what can a barber expect from going into the esthetician field to add to his service?
He can do facials on his clients, while they're sitting there or after. He can add or know how to wax better. I think they do learn how to wax, but I don't know if a lot of barbers actually bring the waxing outside of.
So a typical facial, when you're a barber, how much can you charge for a facial? And how much time do you think you can have while doing a 30-minute, 40-minute haircut? How much can you charge on top of your haircut?
Probably $100 or more, depending on where you live. you can probably charge more, $100 more.
For a facial?
Yeah. Even if it's just like a 30-minute facial, some are more expensive than
Right.
that. So, yeah.
So if a barber gets really intricate and knowing how to do a facial, he can charge his service within an hour on top of the haircut, which is $30, $40, do a great facial and charge $150 for that service within an hour and 10 minutes.
Yep, exactly.
Wow. Barbers, are you listening to this? What do you, so how much effort would you have to put into the facial, Sierra? And how, because I know that's what most barbers are thinking about. How much time will this take? How much time will it take away from my haircut services?
Well, you'd want them to like it to feel good for them. Like if they do the massage instead of just the steam towel, you'd want them it to feel nice enough for them to continue to want more. You'd want them to see like if they had acne and got an acne facial, you'd want them to see results from it.
Right, because most men have like ingrown hairs, and you guys can treat the ingrown hairs as well, right? So if you become friends with an esthetician at your school, she can teach you certain things as a barber to help service a man from his neck up.
There's one thing that I noticed a lot of guys at our school like is getting their hands waxed and their tattoos waxed to make them more prominent.
Say that again?
They would get their hands waxed and their tattoos waxed to make it look more prominent and clean.
Barbers would do that?
Yeah, we've had several that come in
Yeah.
and got certain things waxed. So.
Yeah, when they have like tattoos, like sleeves, and they'll have tattoos on their hands and stuff like that. If you wax it, it like brightens it up. Brightens it up and makes it look good.
Wow, I did not know that. So see how important this episode on this podcast is, because we're intersecting barber and esthetician aesthetics. Most people don't think, they think it's so far on the other end of the spectrum, but realistically, it's all the same. You can learn from each other. You can learn so much and enhance your services that you have. Wow. But so would you guys encourage barbers to learn some type of something from the esthetician field?
I think that if there was a barber that went into the esthetician field and got rid of the stereotype that
Yes.
men...
Start over. Say it again.
I think that if a barber went into the esthetician field and got rid of the stereotype that it's only women doing that, then they could help a lot of other men go into that, and it could be so much more money on top of, cutting hair and all of that. There could be a lot of money made there, I believe. And if they made the men coming in there feel comfortable about getting a facial or, getting their eyebrows waxed, then, because I think a lot of men feel almost emasculated by that whenever they shouldn't. It's just normal hygiene, so I think that would be a good idea for somebody.
And the importance of, like you said, it's just normal hygiene. And men are into self-care, but a lot of men are almost afraid of self-care. And I think it started back in like high school where, excuse me, like most guys, they don't want to go into the cosmetology room because it's too much girls.
Right.
Because if their friends see them in the cosmetology room, they'll think something's wrong with them. They're not masculine enough. And I think that's where it starts. So we could kind of change that narrative and let men, women know that, hey, all services can kind of really cross each other.
We don't want a one-stop shop.
Right.
As chaotic as everybody's lives are.
But most people just kind of make you feel inadequate. Most people make you feel, oh, that's, and just like you say, you was being discouraged from
My age.
Yeah. And so people don't discourage age discrimination, but also discrimination, gender, race, and all these things that kind of have people not reaching their full potential and doing what they need to do to make themselves happy.
I think men also don't realize, in a way, they're very similar to women. Like, because when women, get dressed up and they get their nails and their hair and their eyebrows and they look good and they go to dinner, they feel good about themselves. They're in a better mood. They radiate that. And I think if men understood, all I got to do is quick eyebrow wax, I could feel a little bit extra about myself. I think it would really take men's confidence in who they are. I don't think that they realize that they could do just more than a haircut, and it's not girly. It's attractive. It's what makes you glow. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of men are scared of that.
So do women notice little details like that on men?
Yes. when a man has like one of his nails painted, like, or all of his nails painted black, especially like, straight men, I'm like, that is cool. He really went outside of the box. Like
that's a little tough though. That's a little tough.
Well, I think it's different for everybody.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's
it
me
is.
personally. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's
the hair coming out of your ears.
yes.
Yeah.
Coming out of your nose.
Yeah, or they wax their brows, or yes, I think, well, that was just, but I think that when men take the extra initiative to make themselves look good, it 100% shows. Wash your hands, clean under your fingernails.
Yeah.
I'm a little extra, I want you to paint them, but that's just me. Like,
The paint of the fingernail, that's kind of,
listen, we come from different generations.
right. I do. I respect that. I respect you guys' feelings and understanding, but most women in our society, I mean, we know everybody's going to be judged, but you see a man come down the road with his fingernails
I
painted.
love it. 100%, I love it.
She would stop him
I
on
love
the
it.
side of the road and
I love it.
See,
Especially
begged
black
my boyfriend to paint his nails.
Yes, I
Say
love
that
it.
again?
I begged my boyfriend to paint his nails.
Thank you. I'm glad you didn't leave me here by myself. Y'all better admit it. Hey, Mercedes wants to admit it too.
What do you guys think, Corey?
I mean, that's not my generation, but yeah, I think it's whatever makes you happy. If you're happy, you're going to be confident, and it's going to show.
It does show.
Do you like guys when they paint their nails?
No.
I mean, again, it's just
Listen,
all
I'm from California, so over there, all the men paint their nails.
it's just all self-care and what makes you happy. And the bottom line is we shouldn't judge.
Mm-hmm.
We should just accept people for who they are and what they bring to the table, because we all have something interesting about ourselves that we can bring to the table to give. Yep. That's great. So what do you guys think of the podcast today? I know some of you guys are really nervous, just afraid,
Go ahead,
especially
Mercedes.
She over there hiding behind the mic. You see how she's hiding behind the mic? Like it's just, the shade is just over her face.
She was like,
What do you guys think about the podcast today?
It wasn't as bad as I was worried it was.
What you thought it was, how bad it was going to
You
be?
didn't give us a topic, so I panicked all night on what we were going to talk about.
But isn't it better just being organic and having a conversation?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what'd you like about the podcast, Soph?
I had a good time. I think just like you said, you've always said, oh, it's just us in the room, we're just sitting around
Having the
talking.
raunchy conversation. I'm just joking.
finally, we get into this. So,
We do have really cool conversations in our room.
We
that
do.
A lot of people would probably be like, what are they talking about?
I think we immediately can, a lot of people don't think women connect like that.
Open up and not worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one thing I tell everybody. I said, you'll enjoy, their first day. I'm always like, we're like family here. And
Yes.
you'll see that as time goes on. And we
Very
really
much.
are. So.
I know we scared April her first day.
Yeah, what do you think about the podcast today?
It
What'd you?
wasn't as bad as I thought.
Oh, you guys, what
You
did,
had us all scared to death, Jay.
for what?
I don't do good at being on the spot. I like being on the spot.
But you
Makes
did
me
you did
nervous.
great today. Oh, you guys did great. What do you think, Mercedes? What do you think today? What do you think of the podcast today?
It wasn't as bad as I thought, but I'm still,
Still what?
my heart rate's still a little high.
So, what? All good things have to come down. We've been here about an hour. Has it seemed like an hour?
Yeah, maybe.
It didn't seem like we was
Felt
here
like
for
I was
an
in
hour. It just seemed
therapy.
like we were just flying by. So, what kind of advice would you give someone who wants to come to this esthetician field?
I
We'll
think
go down
that
the line.
they need to prepare for sure. I think that everything's 100% doable. It's up to you to do it. I think that if you've got extra responsibilities like kids or working full time, or you have something that you need to prepare, because not anything worth doing is easy. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be difficult, and whether the level of difficulty is the same for you or somebody else, I think that you need to prepare to study. You need to prepare to work, to do your performances, to be progressive, and you also need to remember your home relationships, your homework, your finances. Everything comes into play when you're making a decision, dedicating 40 hours a week, 30 hours a week to school. I think that preparation's a key. That's what I would say.
What do you think, Mercedes?
I think that you should just step out of your comfort zone, and even if you don't know anything about it and you may find interest in doing it, then just go for it.
Sierra, what do you think?
I feel like if you need to look more into it before you come, because if you don't have a passion for it, you're just going to be miserable for 7 months.
Right.
If you need to have the passion to do it, or you're just going to hate it.
Do your research. Take your time to get to know the people, get to know the staff, get to know the students. Ask some questions.
Yes, always.
I think mine would be never let go of the confidence that you should have in yourself to know what's good for you and what's not. If you apply yourself, you're going to go somewhere. It may
Big.
take you 10 years, it may take you 2. But as long as you apply yourself, you're going to get to where you need to be.
Big. That's major. I like that. Soph.
I would say as long as you know that you're passionate about it, then definitely go for it. Because even though 7 months is somewhat of a long time, if you are passionate about it, that won't seem like anything. And in the end, it'll be so worth it.
That's big. Miss Corey, Miss Tanya, what kind of advice would you give to someone getting in this industry and wanting to get into school?
I'd probably definitely say what everybody said. Make sure you're passionate, do your research, prepare yourself if you're, financially and things like that too. Just make sure you're ready, because once you get there and then you're like, oh no, I really do need to work today, but I'm at school, you don't want to have to worry about that. And also, Colton said this, and I thought it was really good when he graduated the other day. You asked him a question, and he said, make yourself feel uncomfortable. If it's making you feel uncomfortable, like go outside your comfortable level. And I thought that's really good. I like that because it makes you better. It makes you better as a person and better whatever you're doing in life.
What do you think, Tanya? What kind of advice would you give someone who wants to get into this industry?
Just the same that everyone else said. You got to be passionate about it, and 7.5, 8 months. Honestly, it goes by fast. Like, I can't believe we've got two fixing to graduate, and it don't seem like they've been there that long. It really does go by fast, and just know it's something that you're working towards, and you're not going to be miserable the rest of your life. And just prepare. Somehow financially, you might not be able to go out to eat as much, but it'll be worth it in the end. So.
I think we had a great podcast today. You guys was wonderful. I enjoyed myself. As we do, everyone who's been on the podcast, we have to come back on the podcast again. We have season 1 and we have season 2, so you guys have to come back.
Mercedes is like, I thought this was a one and done.
So you guys are veterans now. Again, Barber College Success, brought to you by Craig Charles of Crown Cutz Academy, JC, Crown Cutz Academy, Bristol, and Craig's Crown Cutz downtown Johnson City. Spreading love the Tri-Cities way is one way, but spreading love the Crown Cutz way is the only way. And again, give shout out to our top 25, top in this country, top 25 in this world ranking. Check us out. If you have any questions, share, send the podcast to a friend. Let them know that this industry is wonderful. This cosmetology industry is so wonderful. If someone is having a hard time choosing a career, point them in the direction of barbering, aesthetics, cosmetology, or nails, because most of these industries are just something that's so fun. As I'm talking to you guys, it's all the same. Barbering, cosmetology, nails, it's all the same. We all searching for a peace of mind in life. We all searching for something that we want to do and love doing. And that's why we're in our industry. We all in this industry to service people and give them our all. And I think all you guys are going to do really well with that. And again, I love what I do. I love being around you guys. I love coming into the room and saying hello to you guys, Tanya and Corey. I mean, 2 wonderful people. You guys have 2 wonderful instructors that helping you guys just further your career. So again, keep up the good work and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid and be uncomfortable. Understand, growth is better than being comfortable. Growth is better than being comfortable. And I think that's what Colton said.
Yeah.
Come outside your comfort zone. Understand, when you're growing, it's not comfortable. Again, thank you. Share, we enroll students every month, the first Tuesday every month. If you're interested in this program, call up to the school, talk to Tanya, Corey, or Dana, and we'll get you in. Again, peace.